Friends, opponents, zombies, dust, and of course, chairs. Welcome, welcome this evening, this afternoon, in the capital of capitals. We find ourselves in the capital of politics. This strange, quasi-autonomous region we like to call Brussels. The capital of the European Union. Yes, you might have nearly forgotten, but in 2012, the European Union won the Nobel Prize, not for nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Before I go any further, I must introduce to you my right hand, Gary. He is the only one who can interrupt me this evening. He will insist on clarity. That's his thing. My sweetheart. Oh, we've been having a bit of a tiff lately, me and Gary. Teresa. Let me introduce to you the amazing and beautiful Teresa. She is responsible for our musical intermezzos of the evening. She will help us to get lost deliberately, but she also has a secret agenda because she tends to put on the music when things get a bit tricky. Power to the music! And now, much more pleasurably, I can introduce you to the aesthetic element of our evening. The prima ballerina, Polina. Okay, that'll do, dear. Polina is not only responsible for being beautiful, but she's also the person who can bring us into contact with the already accredited items in the museum. Truth, guilt. These are difficult subjects for us to grapple with. And therefore, we are extremely lucky to have with us our revered jury. Members of the jury are Peter de Bouwser. Peter de Bouwser is a writer and a director, and he tries to live without a biography. Annemieke Gieren, who worked for 20 years as a lawyer, but in the meantime also practiced drawing and mixed media. She studied art and is now an artist. Shia Damon, retired, active in the field of LGBTQ rights, and semi-active in the field of housing, now 70 years young, ladies and gentlemen. He was the co-founder of the Belgian Pride in 1995 and is still involved. Ella de Burka. She is an artist. She's writing a PhD on spectatorship. She works with performance and is inspired by stage fright, embarrassment, and social anxiety. The items that you will be judging, voting on, please consider, are they good enough? Are they guilty enough to be in the Museum of Utopian Clothing? You've all been given a red dress and a white dress. When I ask you to vote, the white dress will mean yes. The red dress will mean no. Let me present to you, ladies and gentlemen, the first item for consideration, the jacket of the playful thief. Your attention to the screen, please.
Sometimes I think that if I had my own little theater, I would steal less, or even stop completely. Let me explain what I mean. The thing is that I discovered that I get pleasure from stealing things. I even feel that it's the right thing to do. After all, the government steals from me too. It takes my taxes and phone bills. And the food is so damn expensive. You know, when I hide groceries in my pocket, I not only think I'm doing the right thing, but I experience a feeling of a great escape. An escape from the brutal reality. It's as if I'm a snake that escapes from the mouth of a jackal and has fun too. I mean, I know I'm inclined to opportunism, or whatever you call it. The thrill of the game. Some inner drama to surprise myself and to surprise others. Generally speaking, I play at being a thief on the edge of a danger because I'm adventurous. Because I'm an actor in my own play, which is called The Battle with Reality. It's important to say that I wouldn't ever steal from people, only things from stores. This, by the way, is also a sort of a revitalizing medicine. Sometimes, in the middle of the desert that is the city, I suddenly feel a strange longing and weakness throughout my whole body. It confuses me so much that I can even lose my way. As soon as you commit this sin, happiness immediately sets in. Sometimes I imagine that a policeman will catch me, and I'll even be interrogated. And then I will tell him that I don't think it's a crime. I'll try to open his eyes and rid him of that hollow dogma that rests on his shoulders. I will let him go home cheerful, with a radiant smile. Recently I read that a love of stealing is the mark of a sociopath. Perhaps it is a sign of this disease, but I have doubts about it. Doctors have been in cahoots with the system for a long time. They privatized the right to be experts in everything that concerns the body and the spirit of man, and began to call any deviation from the norm a disease. Who gave them the right to do so? No one. They took it themselves, and that was the end of it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, would you like to share with us your wisdom, your insights?
Well, I think it's guilty. Well, I don't like the word guilty, but I think it's worth to be in the museum because it takes, for me, two different points. It speaks about disease, and we have to remember that a lot of things which at a certain point become normal, if normal is can be defined, have been considered as diseases. Homosexuality was considered as a disease up till 1990 by the World Health Organization. Transgender people have been considered as sick up till 2 years ago here in Belgium. So it's very important to remember that. And then also, who is the thief? He says that the government also is a thief. Well, I think the government is a bigger thief than he is, because the working class people have to pay taxes, and the big societies don't pay taxes. It's a kind of thiefness.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your wisdom, for your insights. Members of the audience, is there anyone amongst you who would like to share their thoughts? Yes? Lady in the back, can we give her a microphone, please, Gary?
Yeah, hi. I agree. I think there's not enough guilt here. First of all, he's transparent about what he's doing. I mean, can somebody be guilty and transparent and upfront about it at the same time?
Yes.
I don't think so. Second, I mean, we all do this, right? We all steal sometimes. I mean, I stole all of this, actually. And I mean, we want to talk about stealing, right? I mean, politicians. Have you seen the YouTube videos? I mean, it's all over the internet. They're criminals who gamble with other people's money and other people's needs, like housing and healthcare and all of that important stuff. It's crazy. YouTube people.
I would consider it as an item to be guilty because it pulls our attention to the question, the important question on who decides on norms.
Yes.
And that should be put in front, because that's not always evident who
Yes.
decides on the content of a norm.
Normativity and the authority of
Yes.
normativity.
That's
Very good. Thank you so much.
Sorry, but all my thoughts are with the jacket of the shopkeeper who is going to be held responsible for all this thievery.
Good point. Ladies and gentlemen, should this item of clothing be in the Museum of Utopian Clothing? Yes, white, or no, red? Please cast your votes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a yes! Ladies and gentlemen, human in. Item number 4 is the blanket, which has a request to Mr. Antonio Tajani, President of the European Parliament.
Mr. President, I'm asking you help me, because the Hungarian government, the ministers, the European deputies, and its officials have done everything in their power to prevent my letters and requests from getting to you or to the legal officers of the Parliament. They are doing everything to prevent me from getting a translator who could translate my diaries, since I've been living abroad for more than 4 years. Since 2012, with the exception of a 6-month period, I have lived in Brussels, Strasbourg and in Paris for a short period. The cause of this appeal is the human experiment that was conducted on me in Budapest, 1992, in the Central Military Hospital, under the excuse of a CT scan, when I was under the effect of anesthesia. They installed a chip in my brain, through which they can see my thoughts on a computer screen. When I woke up in the psychiatric ward, I took a tube out of my body that went through my nose until my throat. These kinds of methods might still be in use by the military secret services, but people are not aware of it. European universities also participated in the experiment. The universities of Budapest, Paris-Sorbonne, Campus Strasbourg, Zurich, etc. With all the obstacles placed before my allegations, it is clear that one cannot speak openly about military secrets. I beg you to order the Prime Minister of Hungary to stop this human experiment. In Hungary, neither the political parties nor the media, radio, television, press have helped me. My letters and telephone calls never get to their addressee, not even in the same city, not to mention outside the country. The TV channel TV2 broadcasted a small fragment of my thoughts for their show Voice, Hungary. All these years I have spent here, they staged the events of my hometown, spending money and time, most of all when I'm the only one here from the town of Erksi. For years, many Hungarians who are not allowed to talk to me in Hungary have come to the parliament. Policemen, officials, security services, shops, Carrefour Express, shops, Deleuze, restaurants, Paul Patisserie, homeless people. We, the Hungarians, can be proud that the inventor of the computer was a Hungarian named Hanus Neumann. Unfortunately, I'm a victim of his knowledge. Another colleague of Bill Gates, another Hungarian, Charles Simonyi, could help me to block the program used in my brain and put an end to this exhibition of my brain and my spirit. This means that they know what I think, what I want to do. They are aware of every second of my life. Because they don't allow me to speak in public, they register all my internal struggles. But they are unreal thoughts that don't reflect reality. I'm asking your help so this anomaly will never happen again in the future. For 5 years, my request hasn't arrived at the Parliament's officials. Please let know the deputies of the states members of the European Union that people from all around the world should be able to present their requests in their native language. Kind regards, György Sándor Kadar, Hungary, Erksi, Brussels, 2012-2017. Telephone number +32 465 161 832.
On a technical point, this story defames the European Union. I have the communications and translations regulations of the Parliament here. Any request for a translation from any language anywhere in the world into any one of the member state languages will be done without any justification with 30 days notice. Now, there's a lot of critiques you could make of the European Parliament, but one thing we know about the Parliament is that its work is characterised by efficiency, transparency, and above all, justice.
Justice! Justice! Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. What do you think you're doing? This is outside of the protocol. No. I'm very sorry. It's impossible. No, I'm very sorry. We need our jury. I'm very sorry, sir. It's impossible to just leave. Would you like to explain to us what you're getting your knickers in a twist about, sir?
These are serious accusations here. So I would love to go out now and to figure out if this is true or not. Maybe this is all scripted. Maybe even this was scripted. Who will tell? So I would love to know the truth about this. Is this a true story or not?
It's a true story. What is truth?
Should I trust you?
Is a true story a story
But
that has
you-
been verified?
But you tried to make believe the people that everything is scripted. I had to leave now. That was in the script. Leave now. So I do it. So how do I have to believe you now?
It's a very good point, sir.
Yes. If it's a true story, it's tragic. We should figure it out now.
The stories that you hear tonight are stories that have been told to the artists who are our researchers of the evening.
Okay. I'll trust them then.
Well, and what are your thoughts?
Yes, it should be in.
It should be in.
Yes.
Thank you. Other members of the jury, is there anybody amongst you humanins who would like to share your thoughts?
I also think it should be in, because the story described about the ships in Flanders is in fact also, it's a real story, because what we live actually through smartphones, through Google and other social media is what the guy described.
Interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, just to interject, I don't think that the blanket is guilty. I think that the European Parliament is guilty. But I'm going to vote the blanket guilty so that it can go in the museum and have a platform.
I
and
see.
More people
So it can represent
Indeed.
this particular topic in the Museum of Utopian Clothes. Thank you. Let's go to the bra. The bra as a cognitive dissonance, ladies and gentlemen.
For some reason, I have a feeling of guilt and fear when I spend money on myself. I don't spend much on clothing brands. I don't even look at them. I buy things from the mass market. Austin, Zara, Sela, Oji, Bershka. I buy things usually once a year in spring or fall and spend 50 to 80 euros. Well, not counting shoes. I buy good ones, but rarely. A young girl wants new things, but I scored myself for it. Things accumulate, there are a lot of them because I worn one size since university, XSS. But they're already worn out and old-fashioned. I will buy and justify each thing before my husband and mother and saying that the dress was on sale. By the way, I earn everything for myself. And then I am tormented by guilt for a few days. Who feels like that? Is it at all normal? Fear of some kind of instability or insecurity. I have some small savings, but I haven't even bought myself boots. I spent the whole winter in old, rather worn out, but comfortable boots. My clothes are modest. 2 pairs of pants and 2-3 jackets. Although I also want to dress up and look stylish. But I was somehow scared too. The fear just sits inside me.
The item inspires me of the fact that the bra refers to gender question and the kind of guilt that women often take on them because of wanting something for themselves. So for me, it's clear that the bra is guilty.
Thank you.
Should be
in the Museum of Utopian Clothes. Thank you. Anybody else in the audience have something they would like to share with us?
I have something to say.
Oh dear, the ballerina speaks. Can we give her a microphone?
I am 20. I don't have any money either. And I come from a broken home. When I go to shops like Zara, I feel like garbage. I can't buy anything. I look with envy at girls who are my age and younger wearing beautiful clothes. I also wear old boots. I don't have any good shoes. Last time I bought cheap rubber ones. I have 2 old sweaters for the winter. Occasionally I buy something on sale, but generally there's a limit of 10 to 12 euros. This certainly affects my self-esteem. Who needs someone like that in an old jacket? Because of this, I'm shy around people. Well, to hell with all this. In general, I don't care. I think soon I will sleep on the street.
Oh dear. Oh my goodness.
Come on, really? Are we talking about guilt for shopping clothes? It's really not a big deal.
So.
Really?
It appears so.
I think it's the minor feeling of guilt all people have experienced in some way, probably. But I think we have to focus on the feeling of guilt with a capital G, no? Guilt for the robbery and collapse of the colonies, for example. Or the guilt for the dismembered Africa, or the guilt for the problem of migration, the guilt for the horrendous deaths of children dying on the street from the cold, or beggars, unemployed, or homeless people sleeping in front of the entrance of the parliament.
Yes. Fuck colonial guilt! You're the one coming onto the stage. Gary, I think you should be doing something.
Guilt is a complex question. No one should be blamed for the sin of the father. Being guilty? The state is like a river. It's always changing. And what it is now is nothing like what it was once before. Blaming others just disempowers people. That's why we'll go right now to the
Guilt for global warming, let's go to the parliament. Guilt for the ozone layer, let's go to the parliament. Guilt for poverty, let's go to the parliament. Guilt for slavery, let's go to the parliament. Let's go to the parliament. Let's go for global warming, let's go to the parliament. Let's go to the parliament. Guilt for equality, let's go to the parliament. Guilt for monopolism, let's go to the parliament. Guilt for extremism, let's go to the parliament. 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 Guilt for the ozone. Guilt for global warming, let's go to the parliament. Guilt for the ozone layer, let's go to the parliament. Guilt for poverty, let's go to the parliament. Guilt for slavery, let's go to the parliament.
Let's go to the place where he sleeps. Let's go there and leave blankets for homeless people.